not you have a health condition, going for a visa medical can be a nerve-wracking experience. In this video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know and what to expect about a partner visa health check. Let's start with the basics. Who needs to get a visa medical when applying for a partner visa? All visa applicants are required to meet the health criteria and will be requested to undergo health examination. In some cases, a non-migrating member of the family unit may also be requested to undergo health checks because there is a one fails, all fails criteria. This might include circumstances such as where a child has been included in an application and was subsequently withdrawn, there's an indication that they may plan to join you at a later date, or where a dependent child is maintaining residence in their home country with another responsible guardian, such as an aging grandparent. All visa medicals need to be undertaken with an approved panel physician. In Australia, visa medicals are undertaken with the Bupa Visa Medical Services providers, and overseas there is an approved list of clinics that are able to do the immigration medicals. In some cases, you may need to factor in travel into the overall application process, which could include international travel to attend a clinic. Usually, an immigration medical is valid for 12 months from the date of issue. In some cases, this may be extended. It's important to factor this validity period into the overall planning of your partner visa so that you don't get caught having to repeat the medical and incur additional costs and time. You'll be issued with an e-medical referral number which has a unique HAP ID which enables the clinician to directly link the results of your visa to your application. What actually happens at the visa medical? Normally you'll be required to do a medical examination, a chest x-ray and blood tests. The doctor will be doing a detailed history and a physical assessment which might include things such as checking your height, weight, blood pressure and hearing and eyesight. They'll be looking for any abnormalities or indications of an underlying health condition. In some cases where you have a known condition or there's something that shows up in your history that you weren't aware of, you may be requested to undergo additional testing, imaging, or obtain specialist reports for a more detailed understanding of your health. So what are they actually looking for? One of the first things to be considered is whether or not you have a condition that is a known public health risk. As of today's date, the only declared condition is active tuberculosis. However, settings are in place to manage emerging public health threats. Secondly, the department is going to be looking at whether or not you have a healthcare or condition that's likely to result in a significant cost when it comes to healthcare or community services. Thirdly, it's whether or not you have a condition that is likely to prejudice access to services of an Australian citizen or permanent resident. What is the significant cost and how is it calculated? Currently, the significant cost threshold is set at $86,000 over the relative lifespan of the visa or the assessable period. In general, the healthcare costs will be assessed over a 5-year period, or where you have a condition that is permanent with a reasonably predictable prognosis, it'll be capped at a maximum period of 10 years. Healthcare costs include things such as general and specialist consultation, regular follow-ups, tests, imaging, surgical procedures, as well as prescription medications. Community services can include the provision of an Australian social security benefit, as well as additional support such as accommodation and education assistance. Prejudice to access is identified where you would need access to a service that is currently in short supply. This includes things such as organs and blood products or requirement for kidney dialysis. When determining the likely costs, the medical officer of the Commonwealth is going to apply a hypothetical person test. They're not looking at your individual circumstances or how you plan to pay for your treatment, but rather what would the costs associated be for a hypothetical person with the same condition at the same severity need on an ongoing basis. The reason they apply a hypothetical person test is because once your visa is granted, there is no way to ensure that you will not access healthcare services in Australia. Where your health status is assessed as not meeting the standard criteria because of a significant cost or likely prejudice to access, your visa may still be granted if you're eligible for a health waiver. It's important to remember that health waivers are not available for all visa types, but a partner visa is one of the select few where this can be completed. A health waiver is a complex immigration issue and we strongly recommend you receive individual advice before going ahead with your visa application if you have a known medical condition. There's a broad range of discretionary circumstances that need to be taken into consideration for a health waiver. The circumstances that may justify a waiver include compelling and compassionate circumstances and your financial ability to mitigate the costs associated with your treatment. Whilst there's no predetermined list of health conditions that will automatically require a health waiver because it's based on each individual's health status, there are some conditions where the regular and standard treatment costs are known to include significant costs and therefore likely result in a health waiver. An example for this is somebody that is living with HIV. We recommend seeking advice if you have concerns over a health condition that is known and there's ongoing monitoring or regular medications required. There can be significant variances in different conditions. Some examples include Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, cancer treatments, organ failure, and permanent or physical neurological or intellectual impairments that will all vary significantly. Eligibility for community services is also a complex assessment based on the overall level of supports or needs that are required. For example, children that are in school that require learning supports for things such as autism spectrum disorder have a vast array of different needs, and the costings will be determined based on that individual child. If you're concerned about your ability to meet the health criteria, we'd love to chat you through it. Freedom Migration are partner visa experts, and we also have significant experience securing successful outcomes for applicants who don't meet the criteria through successful health waivers. I look forward to meeting with you soon.